Hello, guys. This is Blue Devin-Foxy with Mastered speaking, and of course, we're back for another video, and also a brand new video, which is time we're gonna start with a new video and kind of get this on the road. And now, before we do get into this video, is please be sure to give this video a like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified. That way you won't miss a single video that comes on this channel. And by the way, guys, I just want to let you guys know in the last video also too, by the way, is that my hands were not finally cold this time, which is of course that my hand was not cold this time last night. And I was like, let's go! I finally got a parody video out. Which also means, by the way, my hand was not cold this time. Which, yes, it was the good news, by the way. Just want to let you guys know that it was the good news. And I'm like, damn, my hand was not actually cold this time. But I finally made another video, which was just perfect. It was like the most perfect timing I had ever probably tried to do to get the video out as possible as I did. So yeah, that actually was the good news, by the way. Very full on good news, exactly, just absolute good news. So before I say that, by the way, is that yeah, at least I finally got the video out, by the way, on that parody. Exactly, I just at least finally got that out, by the way. And also, here's the same questions I want to let you guys know about, by the way, is let me tell you guys this. Well, let me just say this. That why was it a little bit of a short video still? Well, at least it wasn't like a 1 minute video I had to do. At least it wasn't a 1 minute video. The only 1 minute video that probably was exactly was like, I think it was somewhere around pretty much when I had to face against Blue Box. Yeah, Blue Box. That was my other version, as my golden version of me had to take on Blue Box, which apparently that's probably what was going on for the 1 minute mark. It was almost kind of like 1 minute and 50 seconds, by the way, to have that done exactly. But yet it kind of decided to be on a little bit more of a 1 minute and 47 seconds exactly. So that's probably why it turned out to be a little short than usual. So that's probably why. And speaking of why, actually, is that I actually got you guys another good news, by the way. I finally am about to have for, the rest of my life exactly to have is something called a boombox. Now, why do I got a boombox here? Well, a boombox is when you get to listen to music exactly. I actually could be listening through my phone and hook it up, and also the laptop as well, just for a Bluetooth exactly to use that, which, by the way, it's going to be a little interesting for me to kind of do for the first time since, well, normally I don't have a boombox for the first time, but now I do since it's pretty cool and rad, so that's all I have to say. It's just a pretty cool thing I get to have for the first time ever, since I'm like, oh, hell yes. Hell yes. Like a boom box, baby. A boom box. Which is perfect to use. Definitely perfect to use. So that's what I'll have to say, that I will actually be happy to have a boom box for the first time. Now, it is a pretty important thing, by the way, for me to have for the longest time. I never even got. So just let you guys know that this was my first time to have a boombox in my life. So that's all I want to let you guys know about. And of course, well, the old saying goes exactly that a boombox is pretty badass. By the way, it's pretty badass and amazing, which is also a good thing to have. So if you guys do like the boombox, then go ahead and give this video a like and comment and subscribe to the bell to be notified then, so that way you still don't miss a single video that comes on this video. And hopefully that would be amazing and truly yet respectful and amazing. And that's all I want to let you guys know about. And before I can show you guys the front of what the boombox looks like, man, it's gonna look sick. It's gonna look amazing and sick. Like hell, I would be listening to that boombox around the world exactly if I even take the boombox with me exactly. Like for an example, if I go to Ohio, or should I say Idaho? Not Ohio. I meant Idaho. Yeah, I meant to say Idaho for a minute. Yeah, I meant to say Idaho. Like imagine if I take the boombox to Idaho with me exactly. and pretty much just take it with me exactly. For an example, I would even take it around Idaho and just use that boombox and just enjoy it exactly while it is pretty much amazing, which it is sick and it's very amazing, as I will have to say, it is completely amazing. So that's all I wanted to say. And even in fact that, man, the boombox with me, by the way, is just going to be the best thing I'll ever have in my future. For exactly, like, imagine this. Like, imagine I use a boombox to kind of listen to my favorite musics, right? Well, for an example, I get to be listening through that, by the way, pretty much either on YouTube Music or Spotify, which I could probably be listening to one of those exactly, which is a pretty sick thing to do, and it's pretty sick anyways otherwise because it looks cool, which is very cool. And it's very, like, the most amazing of cool, I probably would have to say, fair likely to say otherwise. So here's what the boombox looks like, everybody, because this boombox is going to look amazing, and it's going to look very fresh and very cool. So, anyways, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The boombox is here. There it is, everybody. The boom box. Yep, that's right. The boom box is here, everybody. The boom box is here. As you guys can see, what this looks like right here, as you guys are seeing right here, that's what the name of the boom box is. If you guys can read what the boom box says, it is definitely right here. Now, before I read it to right now exactly of what the boom box is about, is that, well, I'll pretty much read this in the back anyways, so that everybody can probably know what the boom box still is. So, what the boombox is, by the way, it says with likely a 2.0 channel that it's an IQ sound, which is also referring to a boombox. Exactly, that's what the name's called, is IQ sound. And it also says portable Bluetooth speaker. It says up to 5.5 hours building. Yeah, I think that starts with lithium. Rechargeable battery. Yep, it means it'll last a long, 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 long time of the boombox. It'll last a long time. So that's pretty much what that does. And then it says the mic input, connect a wires microphone for more fun. Yeah, I even get to have to use a microphone for that because that would be sick. Like, I mean, it probably would be sick, by the way, but it would probably be badass, by the way. Like, hell, I would even use a microphone. Like, goddamn. Like, absolutely goddamn, bro. I would even have to use a microphone for that. Like, damn, that is sick. Now, here's the next thing, by the way, how cool it's going to sound with the next one. The next one says light show. 3 different modes of RGB lighting. Oh, yeah. Yeah, now that I'm gonna love right here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna love it. And here's the next one. It says true wireless stereo, or pretty much like skeptical. Yeah, skeptical, or whatever exactly. Allows you to connect two speakers via Bluetooth with TWS technology. Speakers can play at the same time to double your audio output. Ooh, let's go. Nice. Man, now that's what I call the TWS. Oh, yeah. Now here comes the next one is the USB inputs. Plug and play your digital audio files. All right. Now that I can get behind with. That I can get really behind with that. Because I mean, this boombox with me is going to be the best ever I'll ever use for the boombox. So hell yes. And of course, here's the next one. Says FM radio. Enjoy your favorite radio stations wherever you go. Oh yeah, I can listen to all of that on the radio. Like, especially whatever I'll be listening to. Exactly. Which I'll listen to Fox pretty much likely on that boombox, because that boombox is going to be all Fox, baby. Yeah, just for my own opinion and just for my own taste. Just remember, my own taste exactly, the opinion. That's it. Doesn't have to be involved in anything else. That's all. Just for a me thing to watch. That's it. And here comes the next one. It says AUX input compatible with most devices with a 3.5 mm AUX output. Ooh, now that's sick. That is actually pretty sick. Like, that is cool. That is very cool. Now, anyways, I'll show you guys what's in the back exactly so you guys can read that for yourselves exactly for what all this says in the back. So, there you go. That's what the back kind of looks like right here because this actually looks cool. That actually looks amazing. So, yeah. And this is what kind of the boombox would look like exactly. Well, it's not probably much like that in the back, but it's just pretty much what the front cover looks like. So, anyway, that's what the boombox looks like, everybody. That's what the boombox looks like, and I hope that you guys are excited as I am because I would say that, man, this IQ Sound boombox is going to be with me for the rest of my days, which is going to be amazing. And I get to pretty much enjoy my badass favorite musics, pretty much from the present or past exactly, which I'll still love to use that in the present exactly right now, exactly, of course, which exactly would give me a very good enjoyment, by the way, just to keep enjoying all that because it's amazing, man. It's like very, very, very amazing. So that's all I want to let you guys know about and tell you guys this interesting video I wanted to make for quite of a long time in my life, exactly ever since I never had a boombox. Well, I could have had a boombox when I was like a teenager exactly, but now as myself as an adult, I can have a boombox, baby. I can have a boombox. So that being said, I hope that you guys you enjoy this video, please be sure to do so is do all four things exactly so you don't absolutely miss a single video that comes on this channel. And I want to say is that, well, at least the parody was done, at least because I actually got it done because, well, I just kind of wanted it done exactly so that way I don't have to rush the video out because, I did kind of get the video done easily. I got the video whole likely done, just got that completely done. As my other self as just the leader of the red team, yeah, pretty much is going to have to get healed a long bit of time before that, exactly, just to go after the blue team, which is just, yeah, just pretty much that, which is going to be a little while to have another parody video out for a couple weeks, days, or months it's going to take exactly again, which is going to just take another bit of a long time to do exactly just to kind of make that exactly. And also for those, by the way, listening is like, oh, where's the fake where is the fake dot UAI thing? Where is that? Well, before anybody tells me where that went exactly, well, let me just say it went slow. What do I mean when it's slow? It wasn't actually doing its job right because it wasn't doing its job. I had to use nice voice exactly. I had to use nice voice AI. I had to use exactly just only for the mercenaries exactly. Just only for that, by the way, because I kind of have a focus on that, by the way. Just exactly as usual. So I just want everybody to kind of know what was going on about that. Because I mean, for me, I just kind of wanted to like get the video done so I don't have to just like have another issue problem to go on with because I just didn't want to have like another issue going on with the fact that it wasn't doing its job right. So that's probably the only fact of it why it didn't do its job. So that's all I wanted to say. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you guys enjoy this video as I do. And before I say anything else, that yes, exactly, that of course, that well, I'm about to finally get a Seattle Seahawks championship hat, by the way, of 2026. Just want to let you guys know I will get that hat soon and get that video out. When it's going to come out tomorrow exactly, because I might be able to get that video out tomorrow and finally get another reaction video out too, by the way. And then, of course, finally, we all get to finally talk about the devil himself is Blood Bear, which is very close to kind of reveal. So I want everybody to know that the next reveal is coming up very soon before I have the next gameplay up. Because for me, by the way, I'm just going to kind of do a bit of commentary a little bit while just adding something a little random exactly, add something in the mix exactly, and just kind of get that scrolled in exactly and see what you guys still think. which I mean, it's going to go by every video by video exactly, and will be full likely explained here. So that's just kind of what I want to do exactly, and got kind of get this completely done here, by the way, and get this solved exactly, because for me, I just really, really want to find out who Blood Bear totally is exactly about Blood Bear, which is very creepy with the red version of his face exactly. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, you guys might probably see an image of what he looks like exactly. That's why I might probably be able to talk about him soon, because for me, I never even talked about that character before, anyways. I mean, I did pay attention we watching the video on YouTube exactly of pretty much the archive of pretty much of Sachi 37 archive I watched recently, and trust me, it's very creepy. It's very creepy, but yet disturbing exactly, and all the screams and all of that, I pretty much saw that. Which for myself I did, but not on my channel though. Which I mean, for me, I might have to do a little bit of considering changes so that way I'd pretty much stay a bit safe, by the way, by anybody's concern exactly. What I'm saying is like, if anything, if anybody says it's like it's too much exactly, it's like if it's like too much, I might have to like blur that exactly, because for me, I could try to blur it if I can exactly. If the blurring actually does its work exactly without glitching or anything, then that's probably much what I can fix it exactly. So for those again who wants to like want me to say it's like, oh, if it's too much, then I'll have to blur it. But if it's not too much, I'll unblur it. So that's the only choice that anybody can talk to me about that right now exactly. About, oh, I have to like look at the bit of the scenes to see what I think exactly. And that's when I can do that. So that being said, I hope that you guys enjoy this video as I do. And yeah, I am definitely am going to get a thumbnail, by the way, and I will proceed to get a thumbnail right now, and probably will have that up, by the way, just for those again who want to have a thumbnail, then I'll probably get it up exactly and have it in just for this and just in for the thumbnail exactly of what I pretty much would have to say right now. So this being said, I'll see you guys later, and I'll see you guys next time. And man, this was like the very first experience I had ever gotten a boombox. So yeah, I'm like, damn, this boombox I'm gonna have is for the rest of my days. Just to enjoy it whenever I go on vacations, just for an example, if I go to a vacation somehow in Idaho, Idaho, yeah, I mean, just pretty much like, oh, Idaho, exactly. Yeah, pretty much that. If I said the word a couple times. Yeah, with the I. Yeah, yep. Definitely with the I. So all I want to say is if I go to Idaho, by the way, just for an example, if I go there, that has Silverwood exactly, of course, well, if I go there exactly, I'll pretty much will use a boombox for any time exactly. As long as that the boombox isn't too loud, then that's pretty much when I won't actually have it too loud exactly. I'll just pretty much have the volume a bit medium down exactly, because for imagine this, by the way, imagine this, just for a demonstration a little bit, how I would test the volume a little bit, so that way I would have to be careful with the volume soon, is that once I turn like the volume a bit down exactly, it means I'll be able to kind of listen to what I'll have to listen to on my boombox, like if it's the radio or if it's the music, if I have to like stick with those, by the way, or if it's just like my videos I'll have to listen to exactly, if I have to listen to some, because trust me, I've always keep my eye on that, by the way. I always double check every time that we watch my videos the whole time, if I have to say so. But let me just say this, by the way, folks, that this is just amazing, and it's a very amazing achievement I have ever had exactly in my life to have a boombox. So for those again who want to give me a round of applause for the boombox, then I'll be glad to be happy for that exactly, and I would be very appreciated, by the way. So that being said, I am definitely immediately going to go ahead and sign off right now. So those again who enjoyed this video, remember to give this one a like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified. That way you won't miss a single video that comes on this channel. So this being said, I'll see you guys next time. And don't forget, by the way, that I will definitely get the hat, by the way, of the Seattle Seahawks championship hat of 2026 today, which, by the way, I'll get the hat today, by the way, and just try to see if it's going to be worth it, by the way, as long as like the hat stays like, without like having like me to have the ponytail out of the hat, then that's good exactly, because for me, I just pretty much would rather wear the hat on exactly, so that way it would just keep my hair a little bit stayed on a little bit, so that way it just doesn't like flink off a little bit. Because for me, by the way, it's just a little different for me to use the hat exactly, which I've used the hat recently to use. For a long time I used a little bit in reaction videos, some quite a time. But that's just my thing, by the way, just a little bit of my thing. So that being said, thank you guys very much for watching. And plus, the Seattle Seahawks championship hat, by the way, might come around today or might come around tomorrow, or it depends on its business days for it to arrive. So once it arrives, by the way, I will be sure to kind of wear that hat and wear the championship hat of the Sam Donald jersey. Then I will definitely use it exactly, and probably just say that we finally got another hat and finally got it exactly, which means we could finally be able to use it exactly just by other means necessarily to enjoy the hat. So I'm just very excited for the first time just to see how it would match. But if it won't match, that's totally fine because I mean, trust me, when I looked on my phone the other day exactly, when I was just trying to look through, like, oh, is there like a black hat for like the Seattle Seahawks championship hat? All of a sudden, by the way, it didn't kind of allow me to show me the championship hats, by the way. Some of them got sold, by the way, when I was looking through my phone earlier. When I was looking through the sponsored ones, I was looking through those, by the way. But yeah, I tried looking through that and I was unlucky to kind of find it, by the way. But the three options I did found, I screenshotted those on my phone, and I might probably be able to delete those exactly, if I find the best hat, the very lucky best hat to kind of ever wear. It's going to be either which one's going to be. So hopefully I'll be glad and be proud of it, and I'll just be happy for it. So hopefully we'll see where this goes, and we'll see how the hat's going to work on me exactly, because I'm just going to love the first time to wear this as wearing it as the championship jersey as well, for it to kind of like be amazing. So that's all I want to tell you guys that about. That's all I wanted to say. So this being said, thank you guys very much for watching. Please be sure to remember to do so is give this video a like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified. That way you won't absolutely miss a single video that comes onto this channel. Thank you. Anyways, I'm going to get going right now. I'm going to wrap this video up entirely exactly and get this done. So this being said, thank you, and I'll see you guys next time, and absolutely in the next video. And I'll see you guys in the next reaction video. And then yet, by the way, I'll definitely get the hat, by the way, today exactly, or yet it'll take some time in its business days for it to arrive. Once I get that arrived, by the way, it'll pretty much be on time exactly. Hopefully it could be on time, but we'll see what happens. Either way, it's going to go. But yeah, it's going to be amazing. And oh, before anybody asks, by the way, that yes, I will still go get the away jerseys, by the way, of the Seattle Seahawks jersey, and of course, the definitely, absolutely, the other one that will probably would consider to be is the way Texans jersey. I will go after those two ones next, by the way. Once I probably, like I said, will get a few bit of money on my wallet a little bit just to kind of stack it back up again exactly, and that's when I'll get the two way jerseys exactly. I have two versions of the Seahawks and Texans I'll be going to get exactly after I get it done. Then I'll finally focus on left like the Saints, the Dolphins, and pretty much the Browns. Hold on, let me take a look at let me take a look at this. Hold on. Let me go to gallery for a minute and I'll explain. So the jerseys I'm going to go after next exactly is going to be the New Orleans Saints, the Miami Dolphins, the Cleveland Browns, and of course the the Indianapolis Colts. By the way, that would be the Indianapolis the Colts. By the way, sorry if I might get that word a little too long. By the way, the Colts and the Dallas Cowboys and the Jacksonville Jaguars and the North Carolina Panthers, and finally the Tennessee Titans. Which I know the logo is shitty, by the way. The logo is shitty, by the way. I still prefer the Flames better than the circle blue circle. I just prefer the Flames better than the other one, which is shit, by the way. I get that. I totally understand it's shit, which I probably agree for once, by the way. I totally agree on that. So let's just say, by the way, that I'll go after like a few of those jerseys left, and then finally it's done. Like normally I would say it'd be finally done. So that's all I want to kind of talk about here. And speaking about that as well, let's just say that the only ones I'll have to go for the easier ones right now is I think I would kind of go for the New Orleans Saints and just the Miami Dolphins, by the way. Just two of those, by the way. And I'll probably save the Browns for later on number five if I kind of get that, by the way. So I'll kind of focus on three and four right now, but five will probably be later, as in from like 6 from 10, by the way. I'll save those for an extra later bit of a long wait exactly to get those as well. So, like I said, I'm going to go for the easier route right now and kind of focus on a bit of my own jersey investment to kind of have exactly for a bit of quite a time. Just to kind of wear, by the way, since I probably know my options a little carefully a bit well to kind of discover and figure out which jerseys are going to be available. Because, I mean, for me, I only might want to be getting is a bit of the jerseys for for the New Orleans Saints a little bit. Like if they do have their jerseys, that's like number 6, by the way. That is Tyler Shough, by the way. If I get Tyler number 6, by the way, that would be a good one. It'll be a good one, by the way. It'll be a good one. I'm just trying to focus on each precision I probably like a bit better and a bit confidently and independently to kind of actually choose my selections a bit randomly and carefully. But if some of them don't have their options a little bit differently, then hey, I guess it's kind of a little bit fine, I guess. It'll be kind of fine, I guess. But, that's all I want to kind of say. And of course, if I get the retirement of Dan Martino, exactly, then I'll probably be able to get the jersey. But if they don't have the 13 jersey on like the Miami Dolphins one, then hey, at least I'll get a different jersey of another number, but a different name, by the way. Exactly, who knows? And then, of course, hold on. And also, by the way, if I actually do get the Browns, by the way, that would be number 8. That would be is that would probably be as known to be as Gabriel. That is number 8, by the way. Then that would be awesome. But if not, I'll get a different jersey number. So the old story goes, and the same goes, by the way, is once I get the jerseys bit done, by the way, it means that I'll actually get to be able to have a bit of an interesting fun. It'll be a bit of interesting fun. I just want to kind of see the versions of myself, what I might look like exactly. I'm not just trying to say I don't hate those teams. Those teams are pretty cool as hell. They look pretty cool. I would probably consider them as my favorites exactly from 1 from 10. They'll always be considered my favorites, I guess. But let me tell you guys this of another story, by the way, is that let me say this. That, yeah, I totally, absolutely would say is that I would focus on the Saints, by the way, the Dolphins, and a bit of Browns. But as in for like the Colts to Titans, by the way, those will be kind of be saved for less later, exactly, or even like more extendedly a little later, just to kind of go after and get. So that's all I want to talk about. That's all I wanted to say, and kind of refer to say that yeah, I probably might get those later and next time. So this being said, everybody, I hope everybody understands of what I'm talking about. If I get like the next jerseys, if I actually get the way jerseys finished and official and done, it means I'll finally continue to get to is to the New Orleans Saints and the Miami Dolphins to kind of like try one of those, by the way, and see if they look professionally amazing. It's going to be the same thing as the way jerseys, by the way. It's going to be the same thing as I'll actually go after and get. So that's pretty much that. And without that being said, everybody, I hope that everybody understands, my reason of why I might have to go after like a few bit of jerseys left, and then I'll save the other ones for later and kind of save it for my money a little bit wise, by the way, just to keep it a little wise and a little bit lightweight, exactly, and of course balanced. So that way I'll kind of focus on what I'm doing exactly. And yeah, I know it's kind of like an investment. I get that. It's kind of like that, by the way. But this time it's only about jerseys. It's only about that, and that's pretty much it. And also, of course, by the way, I might I might hold on. Man, I might have to get a Sprite a little later. I might have to get a soda can for later just to kind of get this done. All right. So what I'm meant to say, by the way, that yes, I might confirm to get the NBA jerseys that I might get to exactly. I might be focusing on the other jerseys I might have to get. So let me just say is this, by the way, that I might have to say the only jerseys I might go after for exactly is that the only ones I'll have to consider and might go after exactly. Well, normally I haven't focused on that a little bit still to kind of actually add my top numbers, by the way. But like I said, I might screenshot those later exactly. Is that, well, let's just say I might get the Blazers and the Thunder exactly. I might get those exactly just to get those two jerseys to kind of get those official. I might get the pretty much the official that will probably be known to be is the Blazers and of course the Thunder of Oklahoma, which I probably will exactly. So that's all I want to kind of say right now. And yeah, that's pretty much what I have to point out too. So this being said, I'm going to go ahead and sign out right now, and I won't just continue to make this as a loop for the longest time for the next second, by the way. So, this being said, in 31 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and sign out anyways. Like, this is a little off topic of me, what I'm trying to talk about a little bit here, just to see if I try to, like, succeed to get a few of the other jerseys official done exactly before I can move right along to the NBA jerseys, which, that's what I might focus and aim for exactly, and there probably would be the hockey jerseys and the baseball jerseys, and of course, finally, it'll probably be about is the college football ones. Oh yeah, that would be there too, exactly. Just for a second and then for like a conversation on that question. So there you go, and there you are. So this being said, I hope that you guys are ready for it, and I hope that you guys are exactly excited to see what's going to happen next soon. After when I get the two-way jerseys done by Seahawks and Texans, then I'll finally jump on to Saints and Dolphins. So that's probably what's going to be next, and that's what's going to be official to be next. When I say it's going to be official, then it's going to be the official official. So that being said, thank you, and I'll see you guys later and on out. Thank you guys for watching. Peace on out, signing right out, and yet again, we'll see you soon for the next video. Sayonara, everybody, and see you guys later. See you later, and goodbye. Bye bye, everyone, and sign out.